Hey, what's going on, everybody, at the 3K High Society? Um, I have not made a video in a long time because I've been deep in the studies, and I've started doing a little mastermind group with some close friends because personal development and all these things have taken over my life. So this is just a little update, but I also want to make a video in which I'm providing value. So in today's video, I'm going to touch upon the concept of priming your mind to produce the type of thinking and thoughts that you would like for your mind to produce. And the way that we do that, I'm going to talk about that at first, and then I'm going to describe to you two things that I do to create thought productions that I find to be, really useful to me. So, you know, first of all, we need to become aware of the fact that, you are not your thoughts. You have thoughts. Thoughts do shape and bring about results and, you know, give you everything that happens in your life, right? You are a product of your thoughts, but you are not your thoughts. So, first thing we want to do is know that we should not identify ourselves with our thoughts. Instead, realize that your mind, your brain, is a thought production machine. Anybody that's done any kind of like meditation can come to that realization. So if you just sit in silence for 15 minutes for a couple days and just pay attention to your breath, make paying attention to your breath the objective, right? So anytime you do have thoughts, you bring your attention back to your breath. You start to realize that, while you're calming yourself and just breathing and paying attention, you start to find that your brain, your mind produces thoughts. It's just that's what it does. It'll give you to-do lists. It'll remind you of things that you need to do, and you'll reminisce about the past and oh, why did I say this? Or, maybe I should have did that better, or, whatever. Like, but that's the point, that your mind produces thoughts. Now, you can influence and start to give your mind suggestions on what kind of thoughts you want to produce. And the way that you go about doing something like that is by repetition, 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 repetition. The idea is, you find something worthy of placing into your mind and do it over and over and over again, and you do it in different formats. You engage different parts of your senses. You get emotionally connected to those things that in which you want to repeat. I'm getting at something here. You might want to take notes on these things that I'm saying, and observe what I'm saying for yourself. But so, for example, the two exercises that I use to influence the thought production in my life is, I have a gratitude journal. So gratitude is an emotion. We did the emotion part, right? Now, with the gratitude journal, I'm writing, so I can say that writing is like the sense of feeling, right? When you write, that there's feeling involved, there's eyesight involved. If you decide to read what you wrote in your gratitude journal down, you'll be engaging your voice, your ears, right? So in the mornings, I like to write in a gratitude journal 10 things that I'm grateful for. And after I'm done writing them, I say them to myself, and I really try to engage that feeling for just a minute of those things that I'm grateful for. And then after I do that, the next thing after saying my thanks, I also like to, because, I'm pretty proactive on wanting to improve things in my life. I also have a separate journal in which I write 10 things or 10 ways in which I can improve the things that I'm doing. So the first 10 are gratitude, it's a feeling. Then the second 10 are ways in which I can find improvements in my life and actions that I can take to improve things in my life based around things that I would like to improve. So, and I do this first thing in the morning. And the purpose of doing things first thing in the morning, and this could get a little esoteric, but I won't get too into it, is the idea is that the moment that you just wake up from the dream state, you're like in that middle zone between your conscious and your subconscious mind. So by setting the tone of your day within those first 30 minutes, what you do in the first 30 minutes from when you wake up, it has a pretty big impact because those things can seep into your subconscious. Those things are going to set the tone for the day. So that's how I like to set the tone. So then what you will find after doing this for like 30 to 60 days is your mind is going to automatically begin producing and making suggestions for things that you're grateful for. Why? Because you're training it to think in these terms. You've created the box, you've created the sandbox in which your mind now has a certain task that it's become accustomed to expressing. So, you want to start creating these like blocks of thought behaviors. And once you start creating and reinforcing those blocks of thought behaviors through emotion and repetition, you'll start to see yourself doing it often, even without the task. There's days that I miss doing my gratitude, but then for some reason I remember and I'm like, oh, let me say 3 things I'm grateful for in my head. Like it becomes a little habit routine thing that I can go through, and that's me starting to automatically produce those types of thoughts because I've created the framework and I've coded the program into my brain and into my heart to be able to express itself this way. So I hope this was helpful to the 3K High Society squad. Um, Stay grateful and find ways to improve your life, guys.